Joe in real life. So I am still pretty cooked in the mid-back region from yesterday's work. And weirdly, I'm feeling good about it. Like I'm pretty excited. I think I'm kind of on to something here, and I'm also excited next week to lean into it more fully. I'm going to do 3 sessions of my upper body and 3 sessions of my lower body over the course of the week. That's the goal, at least. You know, we'll see if it pans out. And I don't expect that to be sustainable. But I want to do it for 1 week just to see. So this is like a field experiment that I know isn't going to reap great results. Which I think when you program for yourself and you program non-conventionally, that's a worthwhile thing to do from time to time. And yeah, I don't know. I've been thinking about a concept in a really, really loose, really broad way of initiation, you know? And I'm 46 years old. If you're watching this, I think there's a high likelihood that you're over 30. You're an adult. And maybe there's a degree of dissatisfaction with how your life's going. I don't think that's necessarily my audience, but I think that's a pretty safe bet with all of us. You know, if you live in America or the UK or, you know, industrialized modern world in the proper sense, we seem to all bear this affliction. And kind of just thinking about my own life and thinking about my own struggles, both the things that I'm butting my head against that are real and the things that I'm butting my head against that I am like insisting on butting against, you know, like that are almost imaginary. They're not imaginary, but you know, like the recent miscarriage, right? And my girlfriend put it perfectly. Like, after she miscarried, we were both really sad. But literally a week before that, we didn't even know she was pregnant. And our entire life wasn't about this. We found out she was pregnant and she miscarried 2 or 3 days later. And we were kind of just gutted by this, just kind of devastated. And like, how did all our eggs end up in that basket so quickly, you know? And I think the answer to that is because, like, we had eggs that didn't have a basket. They're just kind of spilled out on the floor, and we were excited to be able to put them somewhere. And, like, that got me thinking about initiation, right? Because that's what initiation is. It's stepping into a new role, and all the slots in that new role are vacant, and you get to fill it at last, you know. To some extent, this shift in my working, in my exercise routine, to a much less degree, feels like a reallocation of my resources. In a more positive and more nourishing way. And I feel good about that, man. I really do. And I don't know what it's going to look like yet when it's over. And I realize that from a viewer's perspective, this is probably pretty boring content. But I do think it will shift within a week or two into something good. I've always kind of picked on hybrid athletes. I think it's a little silly to spread yourself so thin. All the while, I spread myself as paper thin every day. And as I've slowly come more comfortable with that role, I find that those clothes fit really nice. Like, it feels good. Like, part of the shift that's been happening with how I follow my metrics kind of happened right under my nose, and I didn't even notice, you know? Like, if I don't get stronger, I don't care. If I don't get faster, I don't care. If I don't gain in endurance, I don't care. These things don't bother me, even though I work quite a bit on them. But what I do care about is if nothing improved, you know? Like, I have so many theaters that improvement's possible, and I'm working on so many things at the same time that I don't mind if they individually don't improve. I don't really like it when they regress, but I don't mind if they don't improve, so long as something else did, you know? As long as a needle is moving, and let's say there are half dozen needles, I feel good. I feel good about what I'm doing. I feel good about this use of my time. And sometimes that needle's mental health, right? Like this morning, I've been just milling around my cul-de-sac, just thinking my thoughts and just planning. And I love that. I love that. I love doing it. It's procrastinating. I'm feeling lazy, but I love it. So anyway, I think I'm going to do some Zercher deadlifts, light as a warm-up. And then I'm going to do some squats. I'm going to try to get heavy today and see what I can grind out. I don't promise anything because my mid-back is fried. And I still don't fully understand it. But I think if I overload next week, I'll know at least what the problem is. And that's my aim. Anyway, this is Joe in real life. Stay tuned. Whew, I just finished. Pretty good workout today. I warmed up with some of these, just approaching Zercher deadlifts, 135 for one, every minute on the minute. I don't know why I felt like that was a good move. My mid back is jacked up a little bit, and I mean, this targets it pretty directly, well, pretty indirectly, but potently. And so I had a hunch it would work, and it did. My back, while not great in my squats, felt pretty good and better than it deserved, you know. I worked up to 205, so I exceeded my daily minimum. I did not do the reps. I did not have the reps. So, you know, perhaps tomorrow. I'm not overly concerned about it. Training's going pretty well. My body composition looks pretty good. I don't have a ton of complaints, and oh, I see what's happening here. Okay, so the way in which I've chosen to film today is causing problems with the video. Not sure what to do about that. I guess I'll just carry on and learn from my mistakes, right? So this is 135, a nice little pause squat. Nothing to be overly concerned about, a little slow out of the bottom, but not something that I feel even slightly weird about. Then I think we do 170, 185, and 205. And yeah, like my torque wasn't there. My positioning was mostly there, but I had to fight really hard to keep any kind of integrity in my back. Overall, just a good, simple little workout that I feel pretty good about. At the end of this video, I'm going to show you some transverse, side to side, kettlebell stuff I've been doing. Trying to get that Tin Man movement out of my body and my posture. I used to be so bendy, and I mean, I'm still really bendy, but I have deficiencies now where I never had them before, and they're cropping up in really inconvenient ways. So I'm trying to combat that, but I'm also trying to be sensible about it. Like, you know, I'm doing heavy singles every day, and I'm running almost every day, and you put new space in your body, it becomes a liability pretty quickly. But also that's part of the game, you know, and I'm just having fun. And that was 205. It was slow, but it moved pretty good. Yeah, geez, I don't like that it's kind of letterboxing, and it's because I started with the north-south videos. So as you can see from this movement, I am not great at it. I'm still kind of learning. I look pretty dopey here just doing this. I need to figure out the exact movement pattern that I'm trying to do and try to replicate it rep for rep. And I just did a few there. I was doing like 10 reps and then 10 of these. Just plate halos, but we touch opposite hip with the plate each time. Really, both of these are ab work exercises. Although they'll definitely get your shoulders and hips too. And yeah, man, maybe that's it today. I apologized for the goofy video. I won't do this again. But this is Joe in real life. I love you guys. Be nice to each other today. I'm going to strive to do the same as always, and I will talk to you tomorrow.